face facts. What up?
Real fans, realtalk.com. Where Arthurdamus, Trip Young, and intern Tom. For the white and black fans, Asia to Manhattan. I get all my facts from my bro, Mark the Statsman. If you're not tuned in, I recommend the CAT scan. And if your brain checks out, then you deserve a backhand. Sports, gossip, all the hot topics. Real fans, realtalk.com got it. They got the hottest bloggers.
Did Jeremy Lin hurt?
Well, log on to the site and you can hear it from them first. I'm talking about the latest, I'm talking about the greatest. Go check out the archives, even tell a neighbor, tell them Bobby sent ya. From spring to winter, tuning in should be the only thing on your agenda. Certified cosign, you know what I'm about, son. Real fans, realtalk.com, I'm out one. Real fans, real talk, real fans, real talk, real fans, realtalk.com, real fans, realtalk.com, real fans, real talk, real fans, real talk, real fans, realtalk.com, real fans, realtalk.com. Action.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the very first live episode of Real Fans Real Talk, coming to you from Bronxnet Studios, channel 68 on Cablevision and channel 34 on Verizon. I'm Trip Young, and of course, to my right, I love making this introduction because this is the most diabolical hater this side of the Mississippi.
What's up, Hate Nation? It's Arthurdamus here, representing for the first live episode of Real Fans Real Talk. And I was sitting across from me, I got the one and only, the Statman, Mark Skevich.
That's right, everyone. Mark the Statman Skevich in the building. We are definitely live for our first live episode. We got a great show lined up for you tonight. A lot of Olympic action going on. We're going to get to that in a second. But first, I don't want to do it, but we got to handle business. We got this thing called Shot for Shot on the program, and the loser has to wear team apparel from a team that they hate. And as a fellow Yankee fan, I hate to do this to Trip Young, but it's got to be done. He's got to wear the Red Sox hat.
You understand? This is what happens when you go against the great Arthurdamus.
Just get it over with. Just get it over with.
Just put it on. Yes, that looks like a great look on you.
Itchy and nasty.
It's a great look on you, man.
Yo, hey.
There's a great look on you.
Hey, don't ever compliment me on wearing a Red Sox hat.
Listen.
You know what, Arthurdamus? You know I got some good lawyers.
Oh, you got some good lawyers.
You know I got good lawyers. You mention this to anybody outside of the studio, I will call Johnny Cochran Jr. and the boy Leibowitz, and we'll have them down here at the station next week, and it's gonna be on. But
you have to understand, man. It's good to see you wearing that hat, man. Because you know my Yankee hating mentality. I just love it when you're wearing the big B. The same team that beat y'all when y'all was up 3-1 in the World Series. It's just good. I'm just gonna act like this B stands for Brooklyn. The show until we hit Shot for Shot, and I could throw on my rep jersey. But do you have the new logo, the Brooklyn Nets hat?
We'll see. We'll talk about that later on in the show.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I'm just glad Statman got his Yankee shirt on to kind of balance out this nonsense that they got going on right now.
We do got to get into the Olympic action that's going on right now. The medal count as it stands right now, China's ahead of U.S. They've been going back and forth throughout the Olympics. They're ahead right now 73 to 70 in the standings. They got 34 gold to the U.S.'s 30. The UK and the United Kingdom, Great Britain is tied with Russia at 48. This past Saturday, Great Britain won 6 gold medals in one day, which was the first time that happened since 1908 in a single day, which also had the Olympics in London back then. So it's been a long time. It was a great day, and then Great Britain basically came back into the standings and is tied at 3rd place right now as it stands. So also the Team USA finishes the preliminary round undefeated as expected. No real big shocks there. They had a close one against Lithuania, 99 to 94. Yesterday's game against Argentina, they were only up by 1 point at the half, but had a great second half to continue on. So, and I don't think there's really any surprises, but I know Arthurdamus is itching to talk about this Team USA action. So
hey, I got nothing to say against Team USA. You know, they represent, they holding it down. You know, Kevin Durant got on fire, 10 3-pointers, and he did pretty much what Melo did, But you know, I don't know.
Melo did it though.
You know, I just don't like Melo, man. Whenever Melo takes shots, it's like he's just chucking. It always looks like he's chucking. Even when he's getting the ball.
When Durant does it, it's fine.
That's fine.
But when Melo does it, he's a chuck.
That's why I'm called the most diabolical hater on this side of the Mississippi. Is because of that.
Hater of the year, 3 years running.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Playing haters ball.
But but did you see the monstrous dunk that Russell Westbrook did?
Yes.
I mean, he just threw it down. Yeah. He's like, that just changed the whole momentum of the whole game.
As good as the Vince Carter dunk.
Oh, yeah, nothing's better than that.
In 2000, but he got up on that 7-footer though.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Well, you know,
got hops.
They did get a couple of feelings hurt, especially Melo, which I actually applaud when that happened.
He got more than his feelings hurt. Let's get that clear
I
now.
applaud when it happened because I was like, yes, that was my hater energy was sent to that player. That's when he low blowed him when he took the 3-point.
That was an embarrassment,
but,
right? That was first of all, you got to have more class than that. Come on, it was a cheap shot, and it really sucks that it had to come down to that game.
It was good when it happened to Melo though,
and so that's what you got to result to. You got to result to a cheap shot at somebody below the belt. I know as a hater, you approve of that kind of stuff.
Yes, I approve of that type of behavior. But especially when it doesn't Melo.
Of course, right? It sucks. But they won the game nonetheless, and they won it in this very strong fashion because they completely dominated on them, especially after they had to rebound from that poor showing they had in the second half against Lithuania, when of course King James had to set the tone,
like he always do.
Because Kobe was getting worked out
like he always
by Linus Kleiser, and Durant was just getting posted up by Darius Songala. So, King James, the best player on the planet, had to come in and set the tone in that game. And of course, they came back and got the win because they were actually losing at one point in that game. So, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. The woman that I gotta say, probably doing better than the men's team. Diana Taurasi, she has those girls stomping all over the competition.
Stomping's not even the word.
Yeah, they beat everybody. They won by what, 30-40 points average per game. They beat Canada 91-48 earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see anyone slowing them down. So they're gonna keep rocking all the way to that gold medal is around their necks. They really have no competition whatsoever.
Speaking of the women's and also U.S. beating Canada, we had a dramatic finish yesterday in women's soccer. The women's soccer team, with about 20 to 30 seconds left in extra time and the second overtime, they scored a goal off a corner kick on a header. And they just won in dramatic fashion. Canada was ahead of them 3 times, and the U.S. came back 3 times and then won it in one of the most dramatic games.
That game was. I have to give it to the U.S. women's soccer team, and Canada too, because those women was on the field for a very long time.
Yeah.
They was doing more than what some of the men's soccer players could handle, and it was so interesting. It's like they was constantly going. It was constant action. They were always going for the goal. Yeah. They was always fighting for position. And a couple of them got hurt, and they just kept playing.
They were representing for their country.
They went hard. So this also brought down the question. Remember when we asked on the show, what would you rather play for, your pro championship or the U.S. Olympic medal? With the way Canada and U.S. is playing, they're playing it's a lot more. It has a lot more meaning.
Well, when we were talking about that subject on our radio show, which airs every Sunday at 5 p.m. on RealFansRealTalk.com, we were discussing as far as more on the tennis side, because tennis you have, whether it's a Grand Slam or a gold medal. With tennis, you have 4 Grand Slams a year. The Olympics only happens once every 4 years. With soccer, it's a little bit different because you have the World Cup, which also happens every 4 years. So I think the World Cup and the Olympics are just about neck and neck as far as importance just because of the length of time that it takes. And the U.S. Olympic women's team definitely played really hard. Very dramatic, great victory, an instant classic. And they go on to face Japan for the gold medal round, and in the near future. So hopefully,
what are the coincidence that they go against Japan, the same team that defeated them in the World Cup, and Japan actually has the opportunity to be the first team to consecutively, if they beat U.S., to win the World Cup championship and the U.S. I keep saying U.S. Olympics. Excuse me, the Olympics.
That's just
medal.
the Patriots. You know what it is? Arthurdamus is
Right.
not used to the hate, so it's like he has some patriotism. He's rooting for the U.S. He's saying U.S. Olympics as opposed to. You're gonna have me saying now U.S. Olympics as opposed to Olympics.
Not mad at all for that. That's one thing you can hate on the rest of the world. U.S. we're very patriotic over here. We supporting our teams, so I'm really looking forward to seeing the U.S. play Japan in that finals game. I'm looking forward to seeing the United States take that medal.
I hope it's a different outcome. I really hope it's they destroy them. Just a little bit of some hatred from what happened last time. I mean, well, Japan needed it just because of what happened with the tsunami over there. It was also a great story for them, for that team to win. But I really hope U.S. destroys them, show them the dominance that they are.
Well, it takes a while. Like if you look at Spain and the men's soccer team, they've been dominant for quite some time. And Japan, it's not that long ago with the World Cup and the U.S. playing in the World Cup against Japan on the women's side. So it's not that different of a team as well. So let's hope it's not similar results, especially with how hard that the U.S. was playing. And when you're talking about length, we're gonna, and we mentioned tennis before, we're gonna get into. I know. Arthurdamus over here doesn't want to be talking about this, but to Federer's defense, he played a 4.5-hour game in the semis against Del Potro.
Excuse me.
I
know you're giving him a defense.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hear about the defense because
now you're gonna hate on Federer?
No, because then people will say, but Andy Murray plays in mixed doubles right after his matches, so you can't really say 4 hours. He had 4 hours, right. But he had a mixed double after he played.
He just got beat.
Djokovic.
He just got beat.
He didn't get beat.
He got whipped.
He threw the game. I'm telling you, he threw the game. His PR got in his head like, Federer, you gotta lose this game on purpose because Great Britain needs a reason to cheer. They need a reason. They need a reason to talk about it, because it'll make Andy Murray the first Briton to win the gold medal in tennis in almost 76 years. So it was a great story. But I'm gonna let you know this, Andy Murray. This is the highest you'll ever achieve. You'll never beat them until. In the Wimbledon, U.S. Open, French Open, Australian Open, you'll never beat them until Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic retire. That's the most you'll ever achieve. Congratulations to that.
And there you have it from the most diabolical hater this side of the Mississippi, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, now you guys, you know this is my favorite part of the show. Anytime I get to talk about my wifey boo, Serena. Because look at her on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, rocking her gold medal, and of course she won once again in dominating fashion. She did not lose a set in this Olympics,
and she went against Sharapova.
She went against Sharapova. I said
I think she's
all these seeds. They need to just get rid of the whole ranking system and just know that Serena Williams. Young is the best tennis player in the world on the planet. That's it, because she won again, and her and her sister, they also won in doubles. So who else is doing it better than my baby right now? Nobody. She's coming back home. We're gonna have to take a little vacation real quick between now and the U.S. Open before she goes in and dominates in another tournament. But that's how it is, man. I can't say enough about my wifey boo, Serena. You already know what it is. When you get back to the U.S., we'll get up and everything. But right now, enjoy it. Enjoy that gold medal. Wear it proudly for your country. That's just it. I'm sorry your boy Fed couldn't do it like that.
Congratulations to her.
I said it before on the radio show that the way she celebrated, it was like the happiest I've seen her, other than that secret wedding that she had with Trip Young and that island off of Peru. And
I never got an invitation to it
because you was gonna hate on it. That's why. I don't want you hating on my wedding, man.
But she was jumping up and down. She was smiling. It's the happiest. She wasn't very enthusiastic in some interviews in the past as far as her passion for tennis. Then she wins Wimbledon, and then goes and wins the gold medal, which is also called the Golden Slam, by the way. She's one of only 4 people to win all 4 major Grand Slam events. Exactly. And a gold medal. The other people to do it, Nadal did it 4 years ago with 11 Grand Slam titles and winning the gold medal. Agassi did it in '96. The first American to do it, or Serena would be the second. He won 8 Grand Slam titles. And then Steffi Graf did it way back in '88 with a total career count of 22 Grand Slam titles. So Serena joins an elite group of people by having that Golden Slam. So definitely congratulations to Serena, Trip Young's wifey. We're definitely happy about that. There was other patriotic events for Great Britain in the past week. Also Saturday, part of those 6 gold medals that I mentioned, Jessica Ennis, whose billboard has been all over London the past 6 months or so, as far as a heavy favorite to bring home Great Britain's first ever gold track and field event. She did it in the heptathlon, so with a commanding advantage. The last event of that, it's a 7-event contest. The last event of that was the 800-meter dash, which she could afford to lose to the second place person by 12 seconds and still ended up coming in first with what they call in track a large kick towards the end and finishing with a dominant performance. So congratulations to Great Britain. They have that home field advantage over there, but still in 3rd place, not even close to the U.S., so I have to throw that out there. And then the
US of A.
A lot of other great motivational things happening. I'm going to pass it over to Trip Young to get some patriotism for the U.S. and what Gaby Douglass has accomplished in this past Olympics.
Have to.
Definitely a huge underdog story.
Have to shout out my girl Gaby. First, I gotta say this because she was, getting a lot of comments about her hair and all of this. Like, knock it off, all right? Knock it off. Don't take away from what she's accomplished in this Olympics, being the only African American to win in all around gold medal in gymnastics. And she's doing her thing. Like Statman said, she was the underdog. Nobody expected no one expected for her to do what she did, and she had an amazing Olympics. She brought Dominic Dawes, was another great Olympian, to tears. Don't
forget the U.S. they were under the microscope. Like I said, they was getting penalized for stuff that normally would take half a point out of the point. They were getting 4 points, if not a point and a half. So the judges was really having it out for the U.S. So I don't know. I mean, I guess somebody's probably paying them under the table because that little bit of hate over there.
Listen, that's how it be sometimes.
Despite all of that, all the accomplishments, after she wins, you have people hating harder than even Arthurdamus. Going on talking about her hair. Like, really?
Yeah, seriously, she just want to go medal.
I don't understand.
Huge underdog story, great motivational story. No one expected her to win. All her teammates were saying that she needed to hold her end, and then she comes out and shines with a perfect performance, and then all you get to do is talk about her hair. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, what I will say about Gaby, and I said this on the radio this past Sunday on RealFansRealTalk.com, is after she won her gold medal, she tried to do the Dougie. I don't know if you could call it the Dougie per se, the dance, but I made a statement that if she comes on to the Real Fans Real Talk show, Trip Young will teach her how to do the official Dougie. So we're gonna have to talk to her people and see if we can get her to come down over here to the Bronxnet Studios, and Trip Young will teach you how to Dougie, Gaby, and we'll take it from there. But definitely, I salute you. Great job in this Olympics. Very proud of you, and as I'm sure the rest of the country is for doing what you did and being able to accomplish that at a young age as well.
Congratulate her mom. I mean, Her mom did a lot to get her there.
She almost went broke
she filed bankruptcy in January.
To get her, because that stuff is expensive.
It's just to keep her and the school that she was going to, so she could qualify.
Yeah.
So I mean, congratulations to the Douglas family. I mean, holding it down. Exactly. Another thing, you know, I don't really want to get into this guy, but this guy we got to talk about.
Go ahead and hate on
about Michael Phelps, the so-called greatest Olympian. I'm going to say the so-called greatest Olympian because he got 22 medals, the most out of any Olympians. But you got to understand, this is swimming we're talking about. Swimming where he has more opportunities to get gold than maybe any other event out there besides probably track and field. That's about it.
That is true, but he doesn't have to win those medals either. He is still winning those medals. Yes, there's more competitions, but he could be losing.
But he still has more opportunity. That's the thing. You have opportunity to get the medals,
but you have to accomplish it too. You can't. It's not just about. A lot of people have opportunities. He wasn't the only person swimming, but he's actually winning and he's dominating and breaking and setting new records every time.
I'm torn here, Statman. What do you think about it? I mean, seriously, what do you think?
I think you're a hater.
Oh, come on!
I think you already know that.
Story of his life.
But at the same time, I do 100% agree with you. Like Serena Williams, she can only compete in individual doubles, and she won both, and it's just basically.
And they've been dominating for how long? And look at the medal count.
I feel my baby is the best anyway. But
that's how I figured I'd get Trip Young to side with Arthurdamus. Just mention Serena Williams. Are you right? No, she must be the better Olympian.
That's neither here nor there. You know, she definitely has a lot of matches, and they only can win in the singles, doubles, and maybe mixed doubles. So she could only get 3 in each Olympics per se if she won the Olympics, if she, you know. But it is what it is.
He's not the greatest Olympian of all time. I'm gonna say he has the most medals.
I don't think he's the greatest Olympian. But I mean, he has the record for most medals. You bring up a great point. He's not the best athlete. He's not the best Olympian. You throw out guys like Carl Lewis, who was great in track and field, also the long jump.
Jesse Owens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just throwing out other names out there. But Carl Lewis didn't have that many events. He was a sprinter. Even track and field, either you're a sprinter or you're a distance runner. There's nobody in history that went and ran the marathon. And with swimming, you basically have. You have the relay ones, you have the backstroke, you have the breaststroke, you have the freestyle.
If you want to say that, then I'll say Usain Bolt is one of the greatest athletes because look how he dominates every time. Yeah. But he only has 2 events that he could do.
And the distance swimming is the guy from China, Sung Young, who is the one who wins the 1500 meter. It's not like Phelps is even distance in that, but there's just so many short distance swimming events, different styles and whatnot, that gives Phelps the advantage to do it. I'm not hating on him. Michael Phelps is an American hero and whatnot. Yeah. He's definitely great, but as far as that, definitely congratulations. There's not like a strong hate with that, but to say like he's one of the best athletes in history when it comes down to swimming is a whole different story. But we mentioned track and field, so
I'm going to say, well, track and field, you got to be.
Like I said, the man,
Usain Bolt.
Usain.
All right, and everybody's talking about how he's stepping off his game and they're not serious about him anymore. You gotta understand, man. This guy is one of the. Like I would say, like the Jamaican commentators were saying, the man was the undisputed heavyweight champion. That's what they were saying. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
do the Usain Bolt.
Do the Usain Bolt. That's how he do, man. I'm telling you. He put everybody all that talk about how Blake was gonna take over the throne, threw that all out the water, and told him like you need to relax about that.
He went to work.
And he broke the Olympic record again.
Yes.
So.
It was 9.63 seconds.
9.63 seconds. So
he's the current world record holder. So
he's the greatest Olympian of all time.
He showed up. He showed up. He definitely showed up. So gotta respect it. He's still a man. He's still the fastest man on the planet. So
hey, listen. Well, we also talking about the girl that won she won the 200-meter relay.
Yeah.
What's her name?
But we you know what? Actually, we're gonna come back to it in a minute. But we gotta jump into shot for shot because it's about that time in the show. So we will get back to that, Arthurdamus. But I'm gonna have to take my pseudo Brooklyn hat off.
It's suitable.
Thank you.
It's
No.
It's
going on, and I'm putting on the ref jersey because it's time for shot for shot. And Arthurdamus, you better hope your hate didn't cost you a match.
I have a feeling that
Right
these guys
now-
are gonna try to get vengeance on me. I already know it. And all my fans out here, if you think they're doing me, they're being wrongfully judging me.
Listen,
you can always leave me a comment. Or hit me up on Twitter at Arthurdamus on Twitter.
And put hashtag the hater.
Hashtag hater. Because I have a feeling something's gonna go down like the presidential run with George W. Bush and Al Gore. So I think something's gonna get rigged over here. So.
Listen, I'm throwing on the real Brooklyn hat for this one, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a nice look too. I really like that.
That was a pseudo Brooklyn. I'm just gonna say that for my own psyche because I feel a certain way. So I'm going back to Brooklyn, my hometown, for this one. But let's jump into this shot for shot. And of course, I know Arthurdamus, you're not gonna like this question, but is Andy Murray the favorite to win the U.S. Open?
Seriously? Seriously? You gonna ask me this question? You want me? Okay, I'll repeat what I just said. Andy Murray has achieved the highest he has achieved until Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Rafael Nadal retires.
When they retire,
okay?
that's it.
This is the highest he'll ever get. He's not even the favorite to win the U.S. Open. You say that to people, they'll laugh at you. So I have to say no.
Statman, what you got to say?
I'm going to agree with Arthurdamus. I mean, just because he won the Olympic gold medal doesn't mean that he's going to continue with the U.S. Open. I mean, Federer did just beat him recently in Wimbledon, and Federer could have won the Golden Slam as well, like Serena did, if he came through, but he didn't come through in the clutch.
Like I said, he threw the game.
So Murray, this guy right here on screen, I don't think so. I don't think it's happening. So I actually agree with Arthurdamus.
All right, we're gonna move along then. Over or under 5 more Olympics before someone breaks Michael Phelps' record?
Well, he has the record of 22, 18 gold medals, and I'm thinking that I'm thinking it could happen under, just because I know it hasn't happened before, but we're seeing a lot with swimming and the women that Arthurdamus was trying to mention before, Missy Franklin. She got 5 golds in her first Olympics at age 17. Michael Phelps was, I believe, 15 for his first Olympics and didn't win any.
Yep.
So she's starting out with 5 already, and she only competed in 7 events, just like Phelps did this time. But I think she might qualify for more in the future. She's already a world record holder in the backstroke. So I think she's gonna do it. 3 or 4, I think. Well, if she depending whether she does 4 or 5, but I think she'll do at least 4 Olympics, and I think she could surpass that.
I have to agree with Statman. I mean, the game is also, you have to understand, the athletes are getting bigger, faster, and stronger. Records are meant to be broken. So, Phelps, you take a back seat. You enjoy it for now because you got the most medals. But I said, like, and probably like 4 Olympics.
Gonna hate on him for a little bit longer until somebody breaks that record. But we're gonna jump on to the number 3 question, and that is, with the Giants' tough schedule, will they return to the playoffs this season?
This question is towards me, right?
That's correct.
Correct.
This question, this is a question I just don't like, because I'm gonna speak with my logic and not hate. But you know, these guys over here is gonna talk, especially this one over here. He's gonna come with his fanatism. That's why I call it a new word, fanatism. All right, so I'm gonna say no. They're not gonna make the playoffs because they barely made the playoffs last year. The teams in the division have made great strides to improve their team. Dallas Cowboys improved their team. They improved the defense. Michael Vick is back. He's going to be playing good. He's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. Plus, they improved their team. Plus, I got to say, don't forget, the Redskins did a lot in the offseason, RG3, and I don't see them. I don't see it's going to be a really tough division. I mean, it's going to be close, but I have to see. Right now, the Giants are the weak link, especially with some of the injuries they got right now, too, to their wide receiver, Hakeem Nicks. So, I have to say, but I'm saying they're not going to make the playoffs. But if they do, then you have to say Eli Manning has to carry them. And if he doesn't carry them, I don't want to hear anything about elite Eli anymore. All right? I don't want to hear no excuses because he's so elite. He is so elite that he could do anything according to your standards. He's so elite. I don't want to hear no excuse that they don't make the playoffs. Statman, you take the stand, please.
All right, I'm actually going to agree with Arthurdamus that he's going to not get this point because...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because basically, you know...
Hey, listen. You got to understand, all right? You have to understand. Don't try to. You have to think with logic, man. You're thinking of fanatism. Y'all saying things that is impossible to be even saying. I mean, you're talking about Eli is better than Michael Vick. You put him in the same category as Tom Brady.
He is better than and Michael Vick is actually my favorite.
Come on now, Eli Manning. What's that you gonna throw at me? How many 4,000 touchdowns?
Vince, when Mike Vick was healthy, Vince Young sometimes got the start last year too on the Eagles. Okay. And as far as the Giants barely making the playoffs, they had half their team injured for the majority of the season.
Come on,
so
man.
when you talk about one injury to Hicks is going to change the whole thing. They had their half their defense.
That's how we got the emergence.
They didn't have both their defensive ends for more than like 3
The
games.
Patriots had no defense whatsoever. As much as what they had a defensive end.
That's how Victor Cruz came to the forefront because of the Giants' injuries to their receiving core.
Hey, listen.
Statman,
listen. All you ever do is you ever bring up the stat about he has 4,000 yards. He's the only quarterback to do 4,000 yards. But how come he's
not the only quarterback?
I mean, excuse me, 3 consecutive seasons, right?
3 consecutive seasons.
And
six other quarterbacks. And
how can he have 4,000 yards 3 consecutive seasons and not go break 30 touchdowns? Every single quarterback that did 4,000 plus yards as that season had almost 40 touchdowns, if not 45 touchdowns. So what's going on there? Explain to me. I mean, because you're a Ravens fan and you're a Giants fan, so I want to know what's going on.
That's correct. Yeah. You can't deny Eli and his greatness, what he's doing, man. You can't deny him, yo. He's nice. Listen, he is, and he does it with a new set of receivers every single season.
Y'all came with the idea about if Eli was to blow his back out or something right now that he's entitled to the Hall of Fame.
I think he is.
He's not.
I think he
he's
will.
Not.
If you combine his
stats, 4 out of 9 seasons that he was consistent. It's not even consistent because it's 4 out of 9 seasons that he was constantly consistent. He was constantly led the league how many times in interception out of all these elite quarterbacks? How many times have you seen Tom Brady and these guys, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, these guys?
Once again, you're comparing him to, they have no bearing on whether or not Eli is going to go to the, because if you're going to say that, then okay, then let's say, well, how come Tom Brady never wins when he plays Eli in the Super Bowl?
But listen,
you can't go by what everyone else is doing. You can only go by what Eli's. All right, but you know what? We got to save this. We got to save this discussion.
We'll have that for another debate.
Yeah, for another debate.
Not just 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, but we got to jump on to the next question. Statman is up right now, one to nothing.
Yeah, because of biased question.
We going to the last question, and that is over or under 3 more years of eliteness for the great Tom Brady, aka Tom Too Cool, as I like to call him. Statman.
I mean, I don't like this question because it's over or under, and I think it's like right on the money that it's going to be 3. So. He's 35 years old right now.
I tell you what, you can. Well, I'm gonna throw in the. I'll give you guys a multiple choice. You can say 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. 3 more years of elite quarterback play from Tom Too Cool himself.
I say 3 years, especially the way things are now. And I have this mentioned in my blog. You could go on the realfansrealtalk.com website. It's called My Generation is Better Than Yours. If you read it, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying.
It's actually a really good read, so you guys should check that out.
Yeah, so
Arthurdamus?
It's basically the year of the quarterback. We had when I talk about all 4 different sports and then additional sports on top of that in that blog. But with football, the year of the quarterback, we had 4 guys throw for over 5,000 yards. Both. Even though everyone focuses on Drew Brees breaking Dan Marino's record, also Tom Brady beat Dan Marino's record, which has held strong since 1984, and Drew Brees was the only person to break 5,000 yards before. The rules have changed so much in the league because you have not only the quarterbacks being more protected with less leniency as far as roughing the passer, so they're not as afraid to get hit and whatnot. The game got a little softer, but more importantly, the receivers are protected a lot more as far as defensive as receivers. So if you're a defensive back and you have a double-edged sword decision where either I let the receiver catch it and or I take the choice where I hit him and he's going to get a penalty. I'm going to get a penalty.
Well,
a lot of times you breathe too hard on the receiver.
It's the way they tackle him. I mean, this guy's leading with the helmets. You can't do that anymore. I agree with that rule.
No, it's not even that. Yeah. I'm talking about when a receiver jumps up to make a catch. While he's in the air, he's considered a defenseless receiver. Before, he used to be able to hit him as he's touching the ball, which would cause him to not hold on to the ball. Now you have to actually wait till he comes down in order to hit him. Otherwise, he's considered defenseless.
What you have to understand is I don't like the rule, but I also agree with it because there's a lot of guys getting hurt. There's a lot of guys getting hurt with these hits.
Yeah, but
it's like football.
Yeah, this is what you signed up for.
Last time
you could swat the ball. You could try to knock it out of his hand.
So we should just play 2-hand touch or flag football in the NFL.
It's football. Listen, you know what you're signing up for when you play this game, when you enlist and when you join that NFL team. You know what it is. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit hard because everybody who's on the other side of the ball from you is looking to make you lose that ball so they can get it back for their offense. And even if there's a fumble or some kind of turnover, the guys on offense are looking to knock you out and knock that ball out your hand. So it is what it is, man. You're going to get hurt playing this game.
Getting back to the point, though, Tom Brady will most likely be throwing for over 4,000 yards over the course of the next 3 seasons. I don't see him not being able to do it just because of the fact that the way the rules changed and whatnot, especially this past season.
Well, I say 4 years because I mean, if Brett Favre could do it for how many? For almost age 40. Tom Brady's what, age 35?
Yeah. Well, he wasn't elite in that last year. I'm talking about elite.
There is 1 year that he was actually off. I mean, when he was in the Vikings.
I don't think he was too great on the Jets either, to be honest with you. I know you're a Jets fan.
He really had that one good year on the Vikings, honestly.
Brett the Jet back in it was the 08 season, I believe. But
well, the system that under the system, Bill Belichick system, he'll strive. I mean, they protect him. I think he'll have 4 years, but I think 4 years and he'll still be elite. I mean, he could do it.
It's a rough call, but 4 years, so he'll be 39 years old.
I mean, that is the last question. You did say.
No, I have one. There's one more question that they're trying to skip me on my opportunity to win. Right?
You did say 1, 2, or 3 or more, so I'm thinking at least 3. So I don't know. The initial question was over and under, and I don't know. So
yeah. So I got to give the point to Statman on that one.
How do you give the point? I don't understand that. It's over 3, but
I don't see him at 39 years old
honestly,
playing
my point was that it's agreed that it's a tie because it was like 3 or more was the choice.
Thank you. I mean,
I switched it. I said I gave you multiple choice.
So now we switching everything on the fly now.
But you know what? All right, I'll tell you what.
This is what they do to take down the great diabolical hater.
Let the ref speak. because I know I'm going to get all of Arthurdamus haters hitting me up on Twitter and on Facebook for this controversial question. So we're going to strike this question from shot for shot. It's the first time this has ever happened where we're striking the question.
Well, no,
we're going to,
it is a tie.
Listen,
we both said the same answer according to the
that's out of there. We're
choices
going to the last question. And this last question is should Jonathan Vilma cave in and drop his civil suit against Roger Goodell so that the league will reduce his sentence to his suspension to 8 games?
Arthurdamus?
No. I think he should take him to court. Make him an example. I mean, take him to court. I mean, if you cave in now, then what's the sense? Then he's just proving that, you know, he can do whatever he wants. I think he should stay in the civil court, take him, sue him, get his money. And because the way they did this was completely wrong. There was no physical proof, no like documented proof saying that he in particular did the bounty program. That he came out of his pocket. What, they took out his bank statements and stuff and see how much money he would draw from the ATMs and stuff to pay off players? It make no sense. So no, I wouldn't cave in for 8 game suspension. He either is suspended or he's not suspended. That's how I see it.
Exactly. I say fight the power, Vilma. Get it done. Keep it going. Keep fighting.
You know, he
fight
didn't want to
Goodell.
say that. He didn't want to say that.
No, I 100% did.
He said it so he can stay tight with me so I can get the loss.
I know I get the victory.
Told you, nation, it's a conspiracy.
Hold on.
Number one, let me continue because that's what I had in my mind the whole time. And if I said it first, you would have switched. But anyway, he tweeted that they're reducing my sentence by 8 years, so that should mean that I'm innocent, right?
Not
and he has a very 8 games. Excuse me.
He's not going to jail, buddy.
Hold on. Honestly, had you went the other way, I would have probably given you the point. But now it doesn't matter because even anyway, I just think that their window of opportunity is closing. They're not gonna be playing at this level. Drew Brees is getting older. The team is getting older. So I just think that, you know, he should have just bit the bullet on this one and just come back after 8 games.
He only got about 2 more years in him, 2-3 years.
That's what I'm saying. So you don't want to. You take it to court now. You're gonna. They definitely not reducing your sentence. So
I get paid. I take the man to court. He knows. That's why the reason.
That's if he wins.
But that's the reason why they.
But there's no guarantee that's gonna happen.
But that's the reason why they have him. They telling him reduce it. We'll give you 8 less games. Because they know they're going to lose.
That's what they have settlements for.
We both said sentence, but it's a suspension.
Suspension, yeah. But listen. Statman, congratulations, sir.
Yes.
You got the victory.
I'm not going to have Arthurdamus wear the Eli Manning jersey that he hates so much, but even though it is appropriate since he doesn't respect him and he lost on the New York Giants question.
Something from the Knicks.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
This is what they do. They put questions in there that I know I will not answer to.
Even though he hates Carmelo Anthony, I don't own a Carmelo Anthony jersey because even though I'm a diehard Knicks fan, I don't like him either, so... I'm not going to let you wear Carmelo, but it will be something next, though. So we got something lined up for you next week on Shot for Shot.
I just like a Phelps on me. That's all I'm wearing.
We gotta actually jump into a little segment we like to call This Day in Sports History. So I guess I will start it off. And on this day, August 7th, in 1992, U.S. teammates Babe Didrikson and Gene Shiley each cleared the world record long jump. Gene Shiley was actually awarded the gold medal, though. They liked his technique better. I don't know, but they both broke the record. But he got it. But that was in 1992.
And in 1999, in this day in history, my boy LT Lawrence Taylor, the real LT, not LaDainian Tomlinson, who takes the LT name, the real LT.
Hey, don't disrespect LT, all right?
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Oh, man.
There was one LT in New York, and his name was Lawrence Taylor, and he's one of the greatest linebackers. The best linebacker, number 56.
In
1999, he became inducted into the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. And it was a great day for Giants fans, great day for Lawrence. There was a surefire Hall of Famer, a great linebacker for the Giants.
Yeah.
Well, this one, in 2007, Barry, I hate the media bonds. The San Francisco Giants hit his 756th career home run to break the record held by Hank Aaron since 1974. So, yeah, well, back to this LT thing, all right? Don't you dare disrespect LaDainian Tomlinson like that, all right?
How are you disrespecting a Hall of Famer like Lawrence Taylor?
And you're doing like LT's not a Hall of Famer.
But you don't just get somebody's name like that. You don't just get you don't get the LT rights, all right? Because LT is the greatest linebacker.
What is it gonna call him?
Whatever you want to call him, but not LT. Let's call him
LaDainian. Listen, this is calling him by his first name, his last name.
Lawrence Taylor was the greatest linebacker of all time. LaDainian Tomlinson is not the greatest running back of all time, as good as he is. And secondly, Lawrence Taylor, he was just a man when he played football. You know, he was notorious for a lot of things at that time. You know, he was doing a lot of partying.
Yeah, a lot of stuff he would off the cameras, off the field.
Yeah, he was get the other team partying before the games. That's on another.
There for the invention of the Gatorade shower.
Yeah,
when the Giants won the Super Bowl. So
so it is what it is. But
just throwing that out, it has nothing to do with his greatness, but just the moment in history that everyone copied too. They copied the Gatorade shower from the Giants, and now they're going to take the man's name and call someone else LT. Get out of here! I don't want to hear.
Don't try to come up with your hate mentality. You need that from me, all right, brother?
that was definitely
another New York action, though. My team, the Yankees. You know, I bleed blue, and Yankee blue at this time of the year. Giants blue, Knicks blue, and Rangers blue in other parts of the year, which is why I hated putting the Red Sox hat on a fellow Yankee fan, Trip Young, earlier, but. Yankees struggling also, so it's not a good day for me as far as a Yankee fan. They lost yesterday. They've lost 11 out of the last 17 games. Struggling as of late. Nova's been struggling as of late. He's in a slump. The good news is Jabba Chamberlain came back last week and a much more expected speedy recovery than initially expected. They thought he was done for the whole year in that trampoline incident, which was embarrassing in the beginning of the year. But Jabba's back. He didn't do well in his first start, giving up a home run right away. So Yankees not doing too good.
You know what? I know what it is, and I know why they've been struggling. Is because, and I think I finally fixed things. It was because the last time I didn't pay Matt Ferrego when he was on the show that extra money that Arthurdamus did, and I had to come in and wear the Red Sox hat. But since today, I wore it, and now everything is out of my system, and now the Yankees
is over.
It's over. The Yankees can get back to winning, taking first place in the American League like they're supposed to be doing. So now
I'm sorry.
Yankee
I'm
fans
going to say this again, like I said last. Sunday, and no disrespect to some family I know that's watching right now and friends, but baseball is boring. I'm sorry. Baseball is boring. I can't watch it. I mean, I watch it when it's like the last game in the World Series. That's about it. It's boring to me.
One thing that you do agree that home runs are exciting.
Hey,
though, right?
home runs are exciting.
But it would be boring for me too if my team would had a lead seven games for 2 seasons in a row.
You keep bringing that up. It's still boring. I mean, I can't sit through it. I can't. I mean, there's some fans that is their religion, but I just can't sit through it.
Yeah, it's my least favorite out of the 4 sports, but I still do love the Yankees. And they have been knocking them out the park in Yankee Stadium. They've homered for 22 straight home games, which is 1 shy of the franchise record. Their next home game is next Monday, the 13th, and the Statman will be in the bleachers watching that home run as they tie the Yankees franchise record. And also, it's a very important game because they're playing Texas, who is neck and neck with them in the American League, both tied with a record of 63 and 45. They're not in the same division, but you do want to have that home field throughout the American League side of the playoffs. Yep. And it's definitely going to be a great game.
That's good and dandy and whatnot. That's a great thing. It's fine and dandy, good and dandy, whatever. But this is let's talk about the real sport. NFL preseason. Bart Scott. I can't wait. Can't wait.
You mean Mr. Invisible, Bart Scott?
Hey, I don't care. If the man, he was known for saying that about when he's going to go against the Steelers.
The funny thing is, he said
I don't care. You can hate all you want, but it's football.
We haven't even heard anything about Bart Scott since he said that. Can't wait.
Excuse me, sir. Well, we had a Hall of Fame game Sunday has passed, the Cardinals versus New Orleans Saints.
It was actually Thursday, but oh no, it was
Sunday.
Oh yeah,
it was Sunday. Excuse me, sir.
Don't
you dare question.
I'm
talking about football religion, okay?
Okay,
don't question my football religion because this is what I do, okay? And
nobody's more religious in football than me.
He does. Hold on. In Arthurdamus' defense, he does love football. He just does not know how to pick a winning team.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's true. He's a fan of that other team, the Jets in New York.
I'm a fan. I'm in New York.
Hasn't won a Super Bowl.
See, I'm wearing the green today. No way, I'll get the
lifetime.
jersey. I'm wearing the green today, New York Jets. You know, even though we be
they're not
brawling,
making it
we
anymore.
And that's an
brawling in
ugly
the
color too.
We know who's the best
green.
team in New
Hey,
York.
even though we be brawling on our training camp because we just like to fight each other because we just can't wait till we fight or hit somebody else other than ourselves. But I'm also going for the Denver Broncos because my favorite player in the NFL, Peyton Manning, like I said, is going to have at least 3 to 4 Pro Bowl players because of his skills.
Well,
he's going to have over 4,000 passing yards because I have never seen Peyton Manning. This is why I also wanted to get that back to the point where you'll say Peyton Manning would not have over 4,000 yards on a shot-for-shot question. Okay, that means he'll be averaging below 250 yards. And we're talking about Peyton Manning.
Well, that's because they're a run-first team. He has no receivers.
And they're predominantly a run-first team.
It had no
I know, because
receivers.
this is another one of those debates we're going to have to save for another show. We do got some other news to cover and a couple of fan mail questions. And since you were talking about the old football players, Terrell Owens, he recently, yesterday, signed with the Seattle Seahawks. So he's got a check coming in. So the child support should be taken care of from this day forward. I'm glad for him. I wish him the best. Hope he does well.
I think one year, $1 million, and he ran with some speed of 4.540 at his age. Is very
years old.
With the Seattle Seahawks, I guess he must have watched The Dark Knight Rises because that's like how Bruce Wayne had magic knees. He got magic knees and he's out.
Listen, he need that check. He's running for it. So I don't knock his hustle. I hope he does well. They got my boy Pete Carroll coaching in Seattle, so I'm happy for him.
I made the comment the other day on our radio show, which once again airs Sunday live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the RealFansRealTalk.com website. We are live in the Bronx today, and I wanted to keep talking about the Yankees a little bit because we are in the Bronx. We are live in the Bronx, and that is where the Yankees play. But since it was just bad news about the Yankees, I guess we'll go over to the fan mail question, and you can email us your fan mail questions, fanmail@RealFansRealTalk.com. Also, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/RealFansRealTalk. And our individual Twitter addresses, individual email addresses, everything is on the RealFansRealTalk.com website under the contact section of the page. And getting to the first fan mail question that we picked, Derek from Queens writes, which U.S. athlete has had the best individual performance in this year's Olympics? I'm going with who I mentioned before, who I think will catch up with Phelps and Missy Franklin, just because of her age and what she accomplished at such a young age with the world record, 4 gold medals and 1 bronze as well, so a total of 5 medals. So, I mean, that's my opinion.
That's a good one, but I have to say Gaby Douglass, like I said. She was the ultimate underdog. Nobody expected her to win the gold. And she went against really tough competition. And she outplayed them. And like I said, her performance was mind blowing.
That's great too, but of course you see the picture that's up there because they in program they already know who Trip Young is gonna pick. Yeah, see that's why I love our crew here at RealFansRealTalk.com. I gotta shout them out every chance I get because they know I'm gonna pick Serena. She has had the most dominating performance, and it's just sad that tennis only has 3 events and she only plays in 2 of them, but she won the gold in both of the events that she plays in. So and she did it once again in dominating fashion. Like I said earlier, walking all over the competition, beating up on Paul Maria Sharapova to take the gold, and then going right after that, join up with my sister-in-law Venus and winning the gold in double. So it is what it is, guys.
I might even take my answer back and agree with Arthurdamus just because of as far as how we mentioned with Phelps before, swimming and how many events there are and everything, and that was a great underdog story with Gaby Douglass, and a great perfect performance pretty much on her end. But moving on to our second fan mail question, of course, we had to pick one of our fan mail questions. It had to be somebody from the Bronx. Thankfully, we had somebody from the Bronx write to us, and it's a very good question. Daryl from the Bronx wrote to us, do you guys think Tim Tebow will start any games for the Jets this season? Before I answer, I'm going to pass it over to the Jets fan in the building, Arthurdamus. What do you think, Arthurdamus?
Are you over there Tebow?
Okay, I want this guy, Mark Sanchez, to do good. But if he doesn't, Tim Tebow has to take over, okay? He has to.
But to be honest, I don't think he's going to start any games because Rex Ryan stuck with Mark Sanchez when he was doing so terrible. And it's like, it's hard.
Well, they didn't have anybody.
Mark Burrell could have came in and did better than him. I mean, the way he was playing, man. It's just that I would like to see Tebow start a game at Mark Sanchez. I'll give him at least 2-3 games until we switch him up, and then bring in Tim Tebow. At least Tim Tebow has heart, and somehow he wins games.
Well, so you can't say Mark Sanchez, he has heart too.
He's a winner. He's a player. He's a shot caller. That's Skip Bayless for you, boy.
Yeah, that's that ESPN Tim Tebow song that we also played on one of our older episodes of Real Fans Real Talk during the football season. I think the last time we played that was in January, so that's a little throwback over there.
Yeah.
But Dirty Sanchez has actually been playing good in the training camp.
Mark Sanchez?
Dirty Sanchez.
Dirty Sanchez? Oh, man.
You know, Arthurdamus is such a hater. He's a Jets fan, but he hates Mark Sanchez. He hates his starting quarterback. And so, of course,
something to hate on.
There's plenty of people that have hated their starting quarterback. I could also refer to my good friend, Ronnie Longshot White. I mean, he's an avid diehard Redskins fan, but he couldn't stand Rex Grossman whatsoever. His hatred for Rex Grossman was as much as as my hatred for Mark Sanchez. But there are fans that don't like the Pits. And they had a poll saying that they had asked what's his name? The one of the analysts from ESPN had asked him, well, do you think that the fans would call for Mark Sanchez's head and have Tim Tebow start? And then he's like, I'm screaming at the TV, yes, we don't like him. I don't like him. And then he says that the fans love him. And I'm like,
well,
I don't know what games he's been watching.
Boomer Esiason, one of the great Jets quarterbacks, actually said that he'd release Tim Tebow. So, and that's coming from Boomer.
I think the fact that they got Tim Tebow lit a little fire up under Mark Sanchez, because he's been performing a lot better in camp. Tebow, there's so much coverage on the camp. I can't help but watch it just because of the fact that Tebow is there. Every time news brings up sports or ESPN, it's always Jets camp because Tebow is there, and Sanchez has been drastically outperforming him. The only way I think Tebow is going to start is maybe he might take the first snap in like a wildcat formation or something like that. But I don't think he's going to start a whole game this entire season. I think Sanchez is going to pick it up because of the fact that Tebow's there.
Let's not get it twisted.
A little fire on the
Let's not get it twisted. But I'm not a big Tebow fan. Even when he was on the Denver Broncos, I was kind of surprised that the way he won games. But I mean, the guy is a winner. I mean, I still believe he's one of the worst quarterbacks of all times. Because,
I don't know about that far, but enough about Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow's been beaten to death for over a year. I don't know why there's so much. He's a backup quarterback for his Christ's sake. Moving on, though, we're going to get into what we call the final thought segment. But I just want to remind you guys, we are 5:30 to 6:30 on Bronxnet. Every Tuesday. Make sure you check us out every week. We are live right now, so this is our first live show. We're enjoying bringing you the news, but we're going to get to the final thought segment right now. I'm going to go last on this one because I got to save it. We'll start with Arthurdamus.
Well, my final thought is I would shout out to all the Bronx people that's watching this right now. Thank you for tuning in and watching the show. Real Fans Real Talk, our first live show. I'm going to shout out to my family, and friends. But I'm also going to say, you know what? I got nothing else to say. I'm just saying I'm glad that we're here on live. And the final thought is, go Team USA. Get gold.
I'm going to just say, make sure y'all check us out on the web at realfansrealtalk.com and be on the lookout for our on-location coverage of the Ring 10 charity event on August 18th. We'll bring you back.
Yankees will win the World Series, so don't worry about the losing streak. That's my final thought. We're in the Bronx. Let's go Yankees.
And I get all my facts from my bro,
Damn,
the
man.
stats, man.
I was trying to tell you about the money.
I recommend the CAT scan, and if your brain checks out, then you deserve a backhand. Sports, gossip, all the hot topics. RealFansRealTalk.com got it. They got the hottest bloggers.
Is Jeremy Lin hurt?
Well, log onto the site and you can hear it from them first. I'm talking about the latest. I'm talking about the greatest. Go check out the archives. Even tell a neighbor. Tell them Bobby sent ya. From spring to winter, tuning in should be the only thing on your agenda. Certified cosign, you know what I'm about, son. RealFansRealTalk.com. I'm out.
Good? Good job, guys.
Gonna wrap it up box for you, bro? Can we get some final thoughts?
No.